Well, so
I love
Dallatar said that his community needs help, and then we also are supposed to be meeting up. What is her name? The ship captain Mirabella of the Taciturn Fortune. She's leaving in the direction we need to leave early morning today.
Not today. We don't know yet. She hasn't said. She just arrived. We need to ask her when she'll
be
leaving
arriving
again.
around noon today, is what the innkeeper said. You don't know how long she'll be in town. And as Veracus is making breakfast, by the way, Dallatar is eating one of the flowers, and he goes, he starts chittering in Turtle, and I assume you would be able to speak with him, right, after ritual casting?
Yeah, of course.
He goes,
wow. Just for going meh for 10 minutes while you figure it out.
You could gesture at him to be like, wait a second. But he goes, wow,
Dallatar knows the drill by now.
Yeah. He goes, wow, this is amazing. How'd you make all these plants grow so quick? That's incredible.
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. My grandmother did show me that if I plant myself in the ground, things just grow better.
You're like a talking plant, and you're my friend. This is the coolest thing ever.
Like a talking plant.
I mean, I don't know if I'm necessarily a talking plant.
We have little undersea flowers. Can you help them grow?
For a very brief amount of time, yes. The problem is I'm not exactly skilled at underwater things. I don't breathe water.
He goes, together we can figure it out. Friendship plus magic makes everything work.
Yeah!
Do I want to dispel this?
We can do that.
As you guys are talking, though, Aramos, you leave the campsite. Would you do so with stealth, or could people notice you walk away?
No, I'll just roll over, like lay flat on my back, looking up at the sky, and just like you see tears rolling down his eyes, and he just walks into the woods.
Oh, so the three of you see this.
He's not a stealthy person. He doesn't do anything in stealth, really.
Dallatar looks and goes, "Is your friend okay?"
Honestly, who can say? We should go ask.
Yeah. At this point, would I be done cooking, or do I still have a little bit of time?
I'd say you finish right as Aramos wakes up and goes.
Okay.
He would have had to sleep longer because of the exhaustion from the armor, so.
He takes his treat and goes into the woods.
Okay, so I'll follow Aramos. And that's the sound. I don't know if you can hear the hammering.
Just barely, but no, you're
okay. So I'll just follow behind Aramos. Just keeping an eye on him. I won't bother him just yet.
I'll go with Veracus, also giving Aramos space at that, like, kind of just see what he's going through. Because I'm not going to stick around with Keston talking to a turtle.
So I will just walk, a slow pace, like 20 feet or turn, just like sadly walk into the forest. And I imagine there's like, I don't know, not a very thick forest, but kind of a forested area. And I find a clearing with a stump, and I just sit down and pray for a while. And then if you guys are still there after about 10 minutes of me praying, I'll notice and I'll say, every night since I got this, and I pull off the inert bracelet, that's the plate armor in its active form, I have the same repetitive dream. And I'm just being drawn into this just growing, ginormous black vortex. It consumes everything. It consumes the light of the stars. It consumes everything. It consumes the planets, the meteors, everything in this space field just gets sucked into this vortex. And I'm straining against it every single night. And it just feels inevitable, like it's going to suck me in. And I'm just remembering flashbacks of the warnings from Androphane Mulcarian that these tools, these epic boons that we've received from the mound are going to consume our souls. And I really need to get counsel from my church, from my order. I really need something, because I can't continue like this. And you just see, like, the same exhaustion that he's had since he's had it is just implacable. It's you can't see it. I mean, he just looks like he's losing hope with the situation, with the artifact. And
then
I feel like I made a mistake picking it up.
And Aramos hasn't, just out of thing, but like he hasn't actually taken he's only ever taken the level of exhaustion, right?
Yeah.
Like he hasn't given into it yet.
Josh told me if I dive into the black hole, I could, instead of taking the exhaustion, I could lose half my hit dice, which would be better mechanically. But,
right, but you have like you as
Aramos. I don't know that, you know.
Right. Okay, that's kind of what I was like
from the black hole, so that's why I'm constantly straining against it, feeling exhausted.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to see, like, because I think I kind of felt like that's where Aramos was coming from, where it's kind of like there's this new presence upon you that is like outside of your faith. That you're like, what do I do with it?
I can't rest. It feels like I can't rest enough.
And really quick, out of character as well, Rex, if Aramos ever does decide to go into the black hole and kind of decide to like take that easy way during your sleep, let me know, because I'll give you some extra gameplay visions or experience with that. So not necessarily positive, just
right,
something will happen. Something will happen. So
yeah.
Loving this RP, by the way, though. Aramos would also know that the Runewood marshes are pretty sparse, but the place you're going, Greenshire, is a fairly populous area. There would be a Temple of Bahamut there for sure that you could go visit when you get to Greenshire.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm just struggling, guys, with this new vision, this new nightly vision, this new recurring. I don't dream of anything but that black hole.
I feel like when we have the same dream over and over, there's a story there. There's something that is our subconscious is trying to tell us, or in our case, these strange items are trying to tell us, is this thing that feels inevitable, is it something that is truly snuffing out like a candle, or is it bringing in to make whole? Do we know?
I'll never know unless I lose the will to fight.
What does your heart say?
I'm scared of it. I'm scared of losing my soul. I'm scared of becoming a husk of my former self in the possession of this armor.
Of anyone who would not lose their soul, it's going to be you, Aramos. I've made decisions recently that I'm the one who is in danger of becoming a shell of who I once was. You are still this annoyingly positive force for the law and good. And that is why I respect you, is you are yourself. You, Kastan, and Tide. Hold true to who you are, no matter what. I make stories. I lie. I cheat. I steal. Even my companion, his name is Story. I make these stories because before the Laughing Dragon Tap, before the Mound of Mulcarian, before our group, I was nothing. I was your run-of-the-mill hunter who tried to put food on the table, pelts, so on and so forth. I wonder if this absorption that you keep seeing every night is to make whole. You've seemed off whenever certain individuals come by, whenever it's something to do with the law, with the guard, anything along those lines. As if you've lost a piece of who you are. What if your dreams are telling you that you can be whole again?
An elephant walks by outside the forest.
A marsh elephant walks by.
You know.
And I kind of sit down next to him and just kind of give a smile.
Because the marsh elephant stomping by is so loud.
Yeah.
Aramos, I agree with Berkis. You have such a way of portraying yourself, and I think that this is something new that you're fighting, and I think that you're all about faith, and I think that you should have the confidence in yourself to know that something can't simply just take your soul. You fight. You have faith in yourself and us. You don't have to do things alone anymore. And that holds true for you as well, Verkus. I feel like you are also burdened by a power that is maybe beyond you, but I think all of your storytelling and roguish ways are a time of loneliness and for yourself and solitude. Both of you we all have each other to work with. And you don't have to do things by yourself. Aramos, this may be a new and terrifying thing that's over you, but I imagine, have faced worse odds. And you don't have to do this by yourself. We all have our own burdens with these items. Others more so than, they're not all as equally balanced. They each have their own toll. But I think that we'll be able to do it. We were warned time and time and time again. And we made the choice to take on these items. And I think that we can handle them. And I think that you can handle whatever lies ahead of you.
Thank you, guys. We can do it. And I believe in what you've said, and I believe that there is, potential for holding on, but it's not feeling clear to me exactly what I'm supposed to be doing in these dreams. So until I can get rid of this exhaustion, I'm just going to need help. So I'm going to need more help than normal. I'm not going to be at my peak performance, but
you have the help. And I think
want to go swimming. I want to go swimming, and I want to get to Greenshire now, knowing that that's where I'm going to see my temple again.
Mm-hmm. You have us, and more importantly, you have faith. You have more faith than all of us combined. So even if you have to stumble into the path of darkness, I don't see you someone who is so tempted to stay there.
And then I get up, like one arm around each of my party, and we just start walking back towards camp.
The four best friends.
Well, Kistana's over talking to the turtle still.
You find Kistana sitting on the ground, back against the tree, and I've just got I've got Dallatar sitting on my knees. We're just having a conversation.
He's telling you about his favorite kind of what's his favorite kind of like undersea plants to eat growing up. And he has made up names for all of them that you've never heard. He's like, yeah, the green bulbs are my favorite, but the little purple squigglies, they have an interesting flavor if you've had a long day. So those were my two favorites growing up.
But what makes the green bulbs better than the purple squigglies?
They're just so filling, and you feel so good afterwards. And they give me lots of energy afterwards, and like they taste good. Not as good as the purple squigglies, but like they're good. I like them.
Are there any that are kind of sweet?
Ooh, you know what? Those ones that like turn orange in the summers when the water gets a little warmer, those are really nice. They have kind of a sweet taste to them, yeah.
It's like Berkus, he's still talking to the turtle.
I have an hour.
Right.
I think I actually have 8 hours.
Oh God.
When we're when we're all back together, I'm not going to dispel magic this early in the day.
I lied. It's 10 minutes.
I think after this, we're probably heading back to town, right? To go into the reef.
Yeah.
As we're walking, I want to bring up the bounty that was on us.
Can I read that little scroll that Gordon
yeah.
had? His personal scroll.
Mm-hmm. That personal scroll, it has first off, it has a bunch of hastily drawn notes around it. Clearly Dorn the Halfling has fantasy ADHD because it's just all kinds of random little notes here and there, but one of those is about you four. It says group of 4, 2 elves, ? Dragonborn probably, with a turtle on their head. So that it has a description there. Hey, don't bite the cord. Hang on.
Tide is not included in the description.
He's the 4th person, yeah. So and
it's
then
either a turtle or a 4th person. I don't
know. Could be both, could be neither. We'll see.
There are a bunch of ramblings about treasure, some notes about what Dorn would do when he finds the treasure. So he's talking about buying a house in Miriordar. He's talking about buying a mountain cabin up south of Gilnoth. He's also talking about taking a luxury ship to Corvain. Just a bunch of random ramblings, but then he does have a note that says ask for Tolman in Greenshire about the sap heist. He does have a note, and he's underlined the name and sap heist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is this?
Go ahead.
The inn that he was supposed to meet us at after he was supposed to meet his contact at after killing us, was that in Greenshire or was that in town?
He mentioned the seaside in town where you guys are.
Okay. So
yes.
Sorry, I have a plan, but what else? If there's anything else you were going to say about that, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, you're fine. He also says he also has a note that says I heard the jewels are now in Esgara. Look into this.
What? Say that again?
The jewels are now in Esgara. Look into this.
That's also in Gordon's note?
Yes.
Really quick question, because I just thought of this. Because my hunter's mark lasted for an hour last night.
Yes.
Did he go in a certain direction? Did he double back? What happened? Or did he snuff out?
No, he went west and slightly north, looking like he's going to, based on the paths, head kind of near the Mount of Malkarian, but he's probably going to a main road, either going to Borgenthak, Frakis, or Havenhearth. It's hard to tell, but he was going away from the current place, so he was going kind of northwest.
Okay.
So I could pretend to be Gorn, and if Aramos came cloaked, could pose as the Dragonborn, and we could retrieve this treasure map.
And find out who's
after us. Also, I guess.
I like that.
I like that too.
I picked up what's his name? I wrote it down. I picked up, I don't see it, the Dragonborn's crossbow. I'm assuming it's a heavy crossbow.
It is a heavy crossbow.
Yeah, we probably brought all those things with us to sell.
Even more like him.
Perfect.
Nice.
I could prestidigitation you to look like a blue Dragonborn as well, to just kind of like.
And what did the gift look like?
He was a kind of more like brownish skinned Githyanki. He had a little bit of a goatee. Otherwise he was bald, and
we could say that he perished in the altercation, so then it's just me and the Dragonborn left.
And that way Kastan and Verkus are kind of keeping watch from somewhere else in the inn, looking innocuous.
Well, I would definitely I would have my familiar out to signal we've got the information we need, and maybe follow if we need to.
I could always also give you Olive and then beast sense into her.
Yeah, so you can just be able to keep track as well, listen in.
Yeah, and then Verkus would be with me.
I'm sneaky.
I can
So I
hear
think we
things
can.
and see things.
I think we can do that before, like when we're walking into town. I can alter self and appear as Goran the Nimble,
Okay.
and that's good for up to an hour.
That is a very good plan.
Okay.
All right. So, if you guys head back into town to do this plan, you would, as you're walking back to the inn, be confronted by a town guard and Juilo who go, "Oh, are you guys okay? We were trying to organize the town guard to come look for you last night. Juilo said you were attacked or something. Are you guys okay?"
Yes, and actually, if you could do something for us,
Hold on. I'm gonna insight check him really quick.
Sure, go for it.
Julio. 24.
Yeah, he's being legitimate. He's not hiding anything. He was
Okay.
honestly, he ran back to town and tried to find guards. He was scared for you guys last night.
Okay. Just like
Aw.
he
Yeah.
waited 8 hours.
I think I found this immediately.
He waited 8 hours, and
Do you say this to him?
no. You know what? Yes,
Say it.
yes. I just go. I look at him.
You just
and
hear
I
in your mind Kastan say, "Dude."
Do it.
Verkus, just it took you 8 hours to get a guard when we're 30 minutes out.
Julia goes, "Well, no, I found a guard within an hour." He kind of starts stammering, and this junior guard near him, who you've never met before, kind of goes, he goes, "When we heard that there might be other people on the edge of town, we didn't know if they were associates of Orvi or something, so we started protecting the town and setting up a perimeter. We didn't hear back from you. We feared the worst. We were going to send a scouting party in your direction in the morning, but now that you're okay, we're going to call that off. But we decided to put the town's safety first. We figured the 4 of you could handle things on your own."
Yes.
Well, you two, please keep it on the down low that we're here.
If you could actually
They look
say
confused.
yes. So we have a situation we're working on. If you could actually say and just make it knowledge as you regularly would that you did send for guards and they found us dead.
Julia
And
goes,
tell them to look into that farmland. It's going to look
Just-
a little different than it normally would, but tell them to keep an eye out for a very large
can
red
also
horse chestnut tree.
You can also start setting up for farmland in that area. But if you could let it be a known around town that we were overtaken by bandits in the night.
"Oh." The
The
guard looks very confused and goes, is the town in danger? What's happening? But Juilo interrupts him and goes, "The mayor trusts these guys. Let's just do what they ask. It's going to be fine." So I'm making sure there's not a
so
cat
we should
going for cords.
we should actually be inside somewhere so we're not as seen. But if you could let the news be known that we were overtaken by bandits in the night.
Juilo kind of straightens up its tunic and goes, "I'm ashamed to admit it, but in the past, I was known to be quite a gossip. I thought those days were behind me, but if it is in the name of those who have saved our town, I shall gossip away, good sirs." And he runs off with purpose to go and spread gossip
friends.
about you guys.
Gossip like your heart and life depends on it.
And then the 4 of us should go to a place that's not like a tavern or a super public area to hide out. And then me and Aramos can go to the seaside tavern, was it?
Yep.
Yes.
And then
the seaside resorts. And there is, hang on, I got a cord situation going on. Guys, stop it.
I'm sure that Kastan and Verkus can stay in a nearby enough place so that with the beast sense on Olive, they could get like a radio in on what's happening.
And
actually, yes, as I deal with the small kitten infestation in town here, there is close to the seaside resort, there are some warehouses for people who are staying after traveling on a ship that are kind of going to store goods for carriages to come into town to transport around the region. So that arrived via ship. So those are guarded by like town guards, but because this is a pretty small town, usually the doors are just locked, but a guard could let you in and you guys could kind of hide out there near the resort. So those are they're not really like, there's not lots of people there really, you know?
Yeah. So we're pretty cloaked as we go in.
Up,
Yeah. The turtle is not on someone's head.
He'd be kind of doing the Olive thing in Kastan's pocket, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we just set up for this. Like, give it maybe like an hour to play out the gossip, and then Aramos and I can walk over to.
Julo's lips move fast. You guys are good to go.
Yeah, I'll alter self and make myself appear as Gorin, and then we'll as best make Aramos look like a blue dragonborn.
Cool. Yeah. Again, the based on this interaction with the night before, it sounds like Gorn brokered this deal with this person, and the Dragonborn, Royjar and the Githyanki were not present, and so this seems like a pretty ironclad plan for sure.
Like, this is who I hired. We lost one on the way, but like, yeah, we'll see how that plays out. We got to see who's coming after us.
Yeah.
And if we're going to a reef and there's treasure by a reef, then like, that's just we're already going to be there.
I got to deal with it. Kitten cord thing. 1 second.
Yeah.
We are back. The cats are a little good to go. And I had to shuffle some things in front of some cords to protect it, and now they got Haru in the room too, so hopefully he'll keep them busy playing with them. So so my adult cat, he's pretty hefty for a cat. He's like 14 pounds, and the kittens are almost 3 pounds. So when they get out of line, sometimes if they're playing too rough with them, he'll just like sit on them. Like, and I'm just like, all right, like, make sure you're not sitting on their heads so they can breathe. But he'll just use his body weight to just be like, and we're done. And so it's very funny.
That's
right, Haru? Yep. All right. Well, I'll wait till Victor's back, because we are going to have Tide and Aramos go into the Seaside Resort Tavern disguised and see how that plays out.
He was giving our dog a chew so she would shut up.
Oh, yeah. All good. I'm pulling up one thing real quick here while you do that.
Yeah,
I'm going to give Nugget one.
Sorry, those like high value treats where we give them to you during gameplay so that you can leave us alone. I forgot to give it during the break.
It's all good.
Tide, as long as you were within 10 feet of Aramos, you have +5 to any save you make in case this guy's trying to charm you or whatever.
Nice.
Dope.
Olive will be on Tide somewhere. Is there a place that she could nestle?
Yeah, they should definitely be in my robes, hanging out. You want her to be able to see?
Yeah. You don't have like a hat or something she can sit on? Can she sit in your hair? Do you have hair?
I mean, did Gorin have hair? Like,
Gorin have hair? Oh, you're Gorin right now.
No, he's Gorn. Gorn the halfling.
Yeah.
Gorn the halfling did have hair. He had tousled brown hair. Yes.
Gorn the nimble.
I mean, like, yeah, I guess there could be a little beast on me. I guess that wouldn't be too odd. Be like, where'd you pick that up? It's like, I took it from the druid with the turtle on his head. Now
she could be under my hood, like looking out.
Oh yeah, also under.
She'll do that. She'll be on Aramos underneath his hood, kind of hiding. That way, she can still observe but not be seen.
And I'm gonna take one of. Sorry, go ahead.
And then I will be with Berkus. Cousin, I need you to watch my body. And then my eyes glaze over. And I sense Warg into Olive.
Berkus is just like, I need to what?
And then awesome. So I'm also going to consume one of my Tide Leaf Zen so that I have advantage on persuasion and performance checks.
Nice.
Would I have had time to ritual cast Beast Sense or no?
Yeah, you would have.
Okay.
We have an hour to set up,
Yeah, you guys are on a pretty relaxed timetable with this, so totally ritual cast, yeah.
And Verkus, absolutely, the minute Kastan like glazes over, just like starts making a sandwich and is just sitting cross-legged.
Death's feet. There you go. Well, while this is happening, Tide, disguised as the halfling, Gorn the Nimble, and Aramos walk into the Seaside Resort. Can I have a perception check from Tide and Kastan through Olive's eyes, and Aramos as well? And Aramos, I also want you, in addition to that perception check, to make a very low DC stealth check or performance check as the waitress Ilara makes eye contact with you, so that she doesn't recognize you from when you guys made your room reservations.
Can I give him Tide with his perception rather than make my own?
Sure. Yep.
And then I'll give Aramos a guidance for well, actually, no, I'll use it for my perception. I think that's what we need to use this for.
Yes.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
Wrong character.
Oh, you're good.
Oh,
Carmorn shows up and unveils his sword, Lumineer.
No. You're too strong for us, please leave.
Charles, we have a play-by-post game going too, so that Rex plays a Carmorn in. So wrong character.
nice.
I got an 18 perception.
Nice. Okay. And Aramos, what was your?
No, it's not. I did persuasion. It's supposed to be performance. Sorry.
Persuasion works. Or it would be performance. Yeah.
7.
Okay. So.
Well, I had disadvantage.
Because I'm exhausted. I have a.
Oh my gosh!
All my ability checks
too.
All my ability checks have disadvantage.
Okay, my lower one is the dirty 20.
Okay. So, Tide and Castan through Olive's eyes, you do see a Harengon rabbit person sitting at a table who kind of clocks the two of the Dragonborn and the disguised halfling walk in and kind of looks over and kind of peeks up her ears and her eyes and kind of like motions to you guys to come sit with her. As you're walking there, though, Aramos, you do see Elara, the tabaxi. She kind of waves at you and then sees you go, and she goes, but you can tell in her eyes that she's heard the rumor that you all died, and she's very confused as you walk in. She did not get the memo that this is,
Do I catch this? My passive perception's 12, but I can roll for catching this if I need to.
So, because you wouldn't be on the lookout for it, I'm going to say you can't roll for it. And with passive 12, you do not notice this exchange between Aramos. You also, because you're looking at the Harengon girl, you do not think that she notices yet.
Yeah, and I don't think she even recognizes Aramos. Like, I mean, I don't think she knows what exactly we look like. The only description we've had is a group of people with the turtle on their head.
Yeah. And this Harengon is not wearing a cloak or anything. She's got some leather armor. She looks like a traveler going through town. So she kind of, as you get closer, she waves you on over a little more and pushes over a chair to make sure you guys have a place to sit. So do you guys go and sit with her, or she just kind of looks at you guys and is waving you over?
Was Gorn the
I'm
Nimble
giving a play-by-play to Verkus?
Was Gorn the Nimble a gnome?
He was a halfling.
A halfling. Okay. Yeah, we walk over to her, and then I go up to the table and just like stand like, hello.
She goes, I take it you are the one they call the Nimble one?
Gorn the Nimble, yes.
Great. And she looks over at Aramos and says, you must be, what was it, Raichar?
This is the muscle that I needed.
Yes. Well, as this is unfolding, Castan, what was your question? It had a hand raised for you.
Yeah, sorry. How close are we to, like Verkus and I, are we to what's going on within the tavern?
If you had to run from the warehouse you guys are in to the tavern, it would take you 4 minutes if you were dashing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You guys are pretty close. It's like a building or two down. You're not far.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like more than 60 feet.
Yes.
Okay. Ignore me. Thank you.
Yes. Because the Seaside Resort's a fairly large building, so. Yeah, so you guys are like a building or two over in the town.
I'm assuming you've heard you owe me a treasure map. You owe Gorn the Nimble a treasure map.
She goes, yeah, it sounds like our mutual employer is going to be pleased. I've heard the rumors going around town already that you took out those 4 out-of-towners, so a lot of the townsfolk sound pretty upset about it.
Wasn't without loss, but we were able to do it. I hope the boss is pleased.
Well, that's, you've met the boss, strange fellow. I still haven't seen his face. It's so bizarre. What a weird voice, right? I wonder if he has like a medical condition or something.
Almost like he's hiding it, maybe.
Yeah, sure. I don't know, but you know how it is. Life on the road, gotta deal with all kinds of weirdos. But what can you do? She tosses you a satchel of coins. You'd have to count it to see how many. It doesn't feel super heavy, but she goes, "Yeah, this ought to cover the part of your payment." And then the employer has that map, and they're at a cove just up the coast. It's about an hour from here, so I can take you to them. They told me where to bring it to you, and they said they had the map there. So, you want to go right now, or do you want to get food? She goes, "I've already eaten. The food here kind of isn't great."
No, it's not.
She goes, "You know what? I've heard people who travel through here a lot. They like the food at this place, but I don't know. I've always been kind of picky, you know. I've found, and you find that this Harangon's a little talkative. She goes, you know, there's plenty of establishments that lots of people like that I just can't get into. Like, have you ever heard of that place in Havenhearth, the Laughing Dragon Tavern? I think their food's not great, and people seem to really like the owner, but I don't know. He seems kind of like one of the guys who talks a lot, but doesn't really do
a little
anything.
pompous, right?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Lying to Verkus right now,
right.
saying like,
I would
they're
almost
talking
rather
about your tavern cousin, and they love it. They say
would-
you're an amazing,
I would
magnanimous
almost rather
owner.
eat this gruel. You know what I mean? Like a small size port-side town making. You're in the city. Like, how are you not making fantastic food?
They're
Exactly.
saying your food is far better than this gruel they're eating here in town.
She goes, you've got it, Gorn. You've got it. So I think let's go to the cove right now, but first let's get a round of drinks to toast. And the Harangon motions for Alara and does like three drinks. So Aramos, you would be very worried as you see this that Alara is going to come over and possibly blow your cover. So
I'll send I'll look over to where she is and I'll send a message to her. And I'm like, ooh, so she knows. I was like,
she thinks y'all are dead, and she just recognizes Aramos, and he looks.
She knows us by name, right?
Yeah, because she talked to you guys a little bit when you checked in and got a room.
I like pulling over. I was like, keep our cover. This is tied in Aramos at the table. Keep our cover.
With Messenger, can you hear her thoughts?
She can respond.
One response.
She can do one response back.
She goes, I'm very confused. I don't understand. Are you guys okay?
We are, but it's very important that we maintain our cover.
Okay. So she walks over with 3 little glasses of wine, and she sets them at the table, and she goes, is there anything else I can get for you 3 travelers who I don't know? So I'm going to roll a deception for her. She is not good at this.
I have my familiar from like under the table. It's a little cat. We'll just pat her a little guidance.
Okay, so can you roll me a d4 for that guidance? Because she did not roll excellent, and
oh no, I got a 3 on the guidance.
Okay, it is going to be so the perception bonus for the insight for the Harangon is going to be a +1. So Kastan, can you roll a d20 for the Harangon, please?
Making us roll the fuck ourselves over.
Yes.
2. You rolled a 2.
I rolled a 14.
So the Harangon does have a higher insight than Ilara's deception check. So this doesn't mean the cover's necessarily blown yet, but the Harangon kind of looks at Ilara and says, well, thank you for the wine, honey. What did you just say about not knowing us? And Ilara says, I don't know what you mean. Who are you people? I've never seen you in my establishment before. And the Harangon kind of looks at Aramos and Gorn tied and looks up and she goes, do you guys know each other? Laura just looks like she's like wanting to run, but she can't.
And I look at her like, of course she has heard of Gorn the Nimble.
And Laura goes, yes, he's very nimble.
The nimblest, and you're not supposed to be telling people when I'm in town.
She goes, oh, yes, I'm sorry. These drinks are on the house. My apologies. And she runs off, and the Harangon does seem to have bought it. And she goes, this town is the worst. These people are so obnoxious.
People pay for protection. They don't even know how to maintain the cover. You know what I'm talking about?
I sure do. She goes, let me tell you a little secret before we head to the coast. And she goes, she takes their glass and motions to Aramos and Tide, and she goes, how would you guys like to make a little bit of coin and burn this awful town to the ground? And she goes to offer a cheers to you guys.
And look around like that would not be advantageous to the business of Gorn the Nimble.
She goes, well, all right, suit yourself. And she tosses back her drink, and she goes,
I toss it back with her.
I know a fellow who knows a fellow who knows a fella who works for a hobgoblin warlord who's been amassing some pretty spectacular forces north of here, and they're looking for the next town to pillage. And I think if we could give them intelligence on this town, they'd probably cut us into the bounty quite a bit. So, in case you change your mind, I think it might be advantageous for Gorn the Nimble. But
well, burning the town to the ground is not as advantageous, but a new business partner, maybe.
I think they'd take everything valuable out of the town before they burn it and kill everyone. But whatever. She goes, "This is good wine, though. I hope we can broker a barrel of that when they take this place. But let's go to the cove. It's about an hour-long hike. I want to get it over with."
How about one more drink before we hit the road?
She goes, fine. I don't want to deal with that annoying bartender, though, but fine, let's do it.
That's fine. I will deal with the bartender, and I'll walk over and get 3 more drinks.
You are a gentleman and a rogue, and I love it.
Yes. And I'll walk over, and I'll ask for 3 more drinks, and I'll put the potion of water breathing that could also make sick into the ale of this heron.
Does that mean that she stops breathing air?
No, I hope not.
Did you just accidentally murder a woman?
I don't think that
she was allergic to ale. She's apparently allergic to good food, so
this cove up north.
You return, or are you asking?
Yeah, so I come back. This cove up north, just straight up the coast.
I mean, the coast is a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty easy to find. It's I'll take you there though. He showed me it's kind of a larger cove. He showed me what area he'd be in, so we can head there now. It won't take too long, hopefully. I just
maybe like
I don't. It's about an hour, but I hate beaches because the sand gets in my fur. You know how it is.
Yes, I can see that. I'm very close to the sand, so I get a lot of it in places where, normal sized folk usually don't get sand.
I know, right? Those normal sized folks, they think they're better than the rest of us. It's nonsense. Can't stand it.
All right, so just up the cove a little bit.
She goes, "Yep, let's get this over with," and she goes to cheers you guys again with the drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then I will down it back with her.
Yeah, she downs hers and she goes, "Oh, did you pay for the nice wine that time?"
Of course, Gorn the Nimble. Why wouldn't I pay for the finest?
Didn't taste as good as last time. This town's the worst.
This town is the worst. Still better than the place in Havenhearth.
They're loving on your restaurant again, cousin.
She goes, yeah, let's get out of here. Come on. And so she gets up to start leading you guys, and she starts walking out of the tavern. I assume you guys follow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you communicate this to Verkus and Castan?
Verkus and Castan have access to this.
Castan can see, yeah. So, yeah, you guys could follow at a distance and auto-succeed on stealth checks if you stay far back enough, since you can see through Olive's eyes.
About how long until she starts feeling sick?
You have no idea.
Fantastic. Hopefully it's within the hour.
Aramos has telepathy. I think it's just one way, but I'll telepathically communicate to Tide. I'll be like,
"Since when have you had telepathy?"
Troop Alliance. We have to meet Captain Mirabella at noon. We can't be going this far north.
By the way, this is at 9 in the morning or 10 a.m., so you do have some time.
We have some time.
And she's only arriving at noon.
You could also, you don't know when she's leaving. You could leave a message at the inn to tell Captain Mirabella that there's 4 travelers who want to pay for passage and to wait for them.
That's still the barkeep, right? From here?
Yeah, Alara. Yeah, I could tell her that telepathically.
Yeah, just on our way out, I'll walk the heron out. I think I'm just waiting for the moment where she starts getting sick. So that like hopefully she's leading us in enough of the right direction, and then we can be like, oh, do you have to go back? Like
Go to the Laughing Dragon Tavern. They'll take care of you. I just want to point out, I feel like now I'm missing out. I think I'm the only one here now who can't use any kind of form of telepathy.
Yes.
This is part of my race. I didn't choose that. I was okay.
That's
Oh.
wild. You haven't used it this whole time?
I didn't even remember I had it until I remembered I had wings at level 6. I was like, oh, okay, I got wings.
It came with the wings.
Okay, let's do both.
That's awesome. Well, yeah. So you guys start heading up out of the town. It gets to there's kind of a beach. You know, you're heading north of the piers, heading up the coast. There are a few kind of places where it gets a little more rocky and hilly as you're heading to this cove. And after about 24 minutes, so you're almost halfway there. Suddenly, the Haragon kind of stops and goes,
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just feel a little weird. Whatever. Probably that. It seems like that wine might have gone bad or something. Doesn't matter. Let's keep going.
Okay.
So, you guys walk a little bit longer, and then
I'll like message Olive.
Okay.
And be like, I put the potion in her drink, and she's starting to feel it. If you guys need to get a little bit closer.
Yeah, we'll follow probably 30 feet away, 30 feet behind.
Okay.
Stealthily.
Just stay hidden. Yes.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.